First, a few words about the protocol that will be followed during this meeting. Please note that this meeting is being broadcast live on the Council's YouTube, and a recording will be available for public viewing following the meeting. Members and service managers should activate their cameras. Microphones should be switched on when you're invited to speak and switched off when you have finished speaking. This is important as it helps to ensure the quality of the audio for all present. Please use the raise hand button to indicate that you wish to speak and lower it when you have finished speaking. Officers should introduce themselves by confirming their name and role before speaking for the first time on any subject. And I'm now going to ask Clerk to the committee to give the roll call.
Thank you, Provost. Could you indicate you're present, please? Councillor Dodds?
Present.
Councillor Houston?
Present.
Councillor Gibson, we have his apologies. Councillor McGill has also submitted apologies. Councillor Simpson?
Present.
And Councillor Tolamash?
Yes, excuse me, here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any declarations of interest? There being none, I will move to item 3, which is the Stirling Wheelchair Curling Club. There has been a request for civic hospitality. Michelle, could you introduce?
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Provost. Michelle MacDonald, Governance Officer. We've had a request for civic funding from the Stirling Wheelchair Curling Club to make a financial contribution from the civic budget towards hosting their international event, which will take place at the Peak on Friday, the 4th of February. The teams that will be invited along to the event and the lunch are they're preparing for the Winter Paralympics, which will be held in March 2022 in Beijing. And the panel is asked to give consideration to the request for civic hospitality. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions about this event? Councillor Dodds.
It's not a question, Provost. It's just a comment to say that I've been to the event like yourself in previous years, and I've actually thoroughly enjoyed it. And the participation from all the other countries and the skill that they use is absolutely brilliant. And I'm all for this, and I'd certainly would recommend that the panel give them the required funds to do this, because it's absolutely a wonderful thing that they do.
Thank you. Councillor Tolamash.
So like Councillor Dodds and yourself, okay, I've been to this event as well, and I would support it. I just have one question when we're awarding this, just checking that we have the money in the budget for, which I'm sure we have, but that's just my
question. Yes, we do, Councillor Tolamash.
That's good. I certainly would endorse these views. It's a very important and very prestigious event, and it brings a lot of people into Stirling, and it's a international event, and we're lucky that we have the wonderful facility down at the Peak to be able to host an event of this stature. Can I ask if we are all in agreement that we should grant this application?
Agreed.
Agreed, yes. Absolutely agreed. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Right, we will now move on to the second item, which is the Provost Charity of the Year. Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle MacDonald, Governance Officer. This report provides details of a suggested charity from the Provost to receive funding from the Civic Panel for the Charity of the Year for 2021. It's proposed that it's the Stirling School of English this year, and the panel's asked to approve a donation of £1,000 from the Civic Fund.
Thank you. Any questions? Councillor Dodds.
Councillor Dodds, you're on. Oh, sorry. I was going to say you're on mute.
Provost.
Councillor Tomash?
I couldn't hear Councillor Dodd's comments, I'm afraid.
No, I think he's turned his microphone off. So I'm going to ask Councillor Tomash first, and then we'll see if Councillor Dodds gets through.
So I've known the Stirling School of English probably for 15 years, and I think specifically at the moment he does a great job for helping people who live either in the Stirling area or near the Stirling area who don't have English as their first language, and there's a big input into that. And specifically, it helps those people who've come into Stirling from other countries, the refugees, and it's a great resource for that. So I would like to endorse it.
Thank you, Councillor Houston.
Yeah, thank you, Provost. I think, like Councillor Tollemache, I'm very happy to support this. I think particularly that it's a charity which is not in the mainstream. It's not one you automatically think of when seeking to give support for charitable causes, etc. And as I said, particularly when Stirling is opening its doors and welcoming refugees, particularly from Afghanistan, etc., it's never a more appropriate time, I think, to recognise what they're doing and lend them the support, which I'm sure will be very gratefully received and well used. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Dodds, do you wish to come in?
Yes, it was a lazy hand, Provost, and I apologise for that, but I agree with my fellow panel members that it's a worthwhile cause, and I fully support their application, and I fully support that we give them the grant that they require.
Thank you very much. Well, I myself paid a visit to the Stirling School of English, and I was very impressed by the work that they do, not only in actually teaching, but in supporting people who can be very isolated and vulnerable and who struggle in the traditional classroom environment. And I was very struck by the dedication of the teachers who are volunteers, and a lot of them are retired teachers, and they create a very supportive atmosphere, and I think the students are very happy there and grateful for the opportunity that it provides. So this is the reason why I proposed it as the Provost Charity of the Year. So I take it that we are all in favour of granting this charity £1,000?
Yes, Provost.
Agreed.
Agreed? Thank you very much. Well, that concludes our business, and thank you all for attending.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Provost.
Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.